Hey, what is going on, guys? This is CupcakeSmasher here, bringing you another video, and today I'm a little bit sick, so please excuse my voice if it is not at its usual, even though that's not that great anyway. But yeah, so I'm gonna be showing you some replays because obviously I'm in Arena 6 here, almost at the battle button just now. That would have very much scared me. But yeah, guys, so Arena 6 now, and I am going to be making good on my magical chest / super magical chest opening promise later this week. So I'm going to need you guys' support on that one. That would be really epic if you could help me out by sharing that when it comes. But that'll be coming out. That'll be the next level 1 video. I'm not attacking right now, so I'm still at Arena 6 when I do that, because it'd be pretty epic to have a level 1 with 5 legendary cards. That would give me a huge advantage and probably would make it possible for me to hit Arena 7, which, I mean, I could get the princess, but I have a little bit of a different plan if I ever do hit that. So yeah, let's get into some replays, though. I think that's more what you guys want, so I'm gonna get right into it. Now, guys, I'm just gonna do my 4 most recent wins. Now, obviously, I was losing in between this. I think I lost like two or three times. I could check my log, but I just won't. But so here we are. We're against some Russian guy, and he's going to just drop off a giant skeleton in the back. Now, this was pretty interesting. I had so I was stupid here. First off, the giant skeleton, putting it down the way I did was so dumb because it put his tower and his giant skeleton on mine. Now, he proceeded to drop another giant skeleton with the mirror, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But never engage that way. I mostly want, when my troops are meeting his troops, if I have a choice, I want it on my side of the arena, not his. Now, his second giant skeleton is going to be working towards my tower, but it's going to be easy enough to distract and get out of the way. I did like this strategy, though. I mean, it's kind of hard to say like it was good and everything, but I mean, if your opponent only has ground troops, I mean, it could theoretically work that the first giant bomb would clear out for the giant skeleton and it could make it to the tower. Now, a minion horde would ruin that plan. Now here, though, if you see that, so the giant just brushed past the witch, which really made me angry, because that just made it so much harder, because instead of engaging the witch first, which you can see she was a problem, she got my Pekka to retarget. Instead of being able to take her down first, the giant was tanking for her, which wasn't going to be happening until like last second, which sucked. But now I'm going to get my giant skeleton headed towards the tower. He obviously drops his off in time, but I have 2 skeletons that are going to do a ton of work because they weren't countered, and now my witch is just going to die because that bomb is going to be super strong. That's okay, though. We took down 600 hit points, almost 700 off of that tower. Now, I did throw my skeleton army like that. It's kind of stupid, especially because he had the hog rider here. But the reason I did that was because I thought he was out of splash damage, and I thought I could slip down a tower, because a skeleton army alone on a tower will almost take it down completely, and sometimes does. It's just depending on the situation. But now dropping my Pekka off again, I'm only at 400 hit points now, so that was not a good exchange. But yeah, we're going to be able to take down these skeletons all right with my Musketeer. My baby dragon's obviously going to wipe them out as well. And now we're going to head out to his side of things. Now, I'm going to wait for the giant skeleton bomb to go off, and then I'm going to be able to drop a giant skeleton witch of my own. It looks like he might try to mirror his, but it's going to be okay because the giant skeleton is tanky enough, and it looks like I'm going to be able to take down his giant skeleton, and I will. He is yet to lay his furnace, which is also another interesting thing. I'm going to drop a Pekka here, and now it's just going to be his giant, and that's going to be an issue because this giant skeleton of mine could potentially take down his witch, which is not good for him. That mini Pekka is going to be in a lot of trouble too. Bomb goes off. Now it's just having to deal with this witch. He's going to try to drop down his giant skeleton and probably will succeed on this round, but we keep getting closer and closer to taking him down. It is only a matter of time at this point. The baby dragon was stupid, but fortunately for me, he did not get hit. That would have been so bad if that were to have happened. He's going to lay down his hog rider here. My giant skeleton and spear golems are going to do some good work because that giant skeleton did block the way, and then I could use my skeleton army first time with the furnace coming down. But this was the dumbest thing he could have done because it wasn't going to do enough. Only those 2 fire spirits would not clear out a skeleton army, but the witch was all right. It looks like we're going to be able to get through here. Giant skeleton could just barely be in range, and it is not. But now I've got a baby dragon and a witch going to work on the tower. It's going to look pretty good for us, and one more hit from the baby dragon. We're going to take it out. Pretty good right there. That was our first win to get us up here. Now I'm going to get into the second one, which was actually the third to last. It'll make sense. So this one's going to be pretty cool. This is against another Russian guy, which is kind of interesting. I wasn't even playing this late at night. Like, sometimes I'll play the game at like 11, 12 at night at my time, and that would put it basically the opposite for them. So early afternoonish for Russians and Asians. So like I play a lot more people with those types of names. But I was actually playing this like midday, so it was kind of interesting. This guy's going to use the poison spell. I'm not facing a lot of poison spell users. It's actually interesting. The card I've probably faced the least from Arena 5 while I was in Arena 5 was the Zap, which I have strong opinions on, but I don't think it's appropriate for this video. I might make a separate one at another time. But what's lucky here is the tower targeted the Pekka, and the skeletons got ahead and just started going to work on the tower. He's going to drop off his furnace, but that was, again, not a good choice. We're seeing that twice now, and just not a very good furnace use. I drop my giant skeleton in the center whenever this happens, me taking down a tower, that is, because that'll get the opposite lane at tower distracted instead of trying to take down whatever's on the king tower. And it ended up working here because I got to use the skeleton army as well to do a lot more hit points worth of damage. And at this point, I don't even know what I would have done if I were him. I mean, it's only a minute and 20 seconds in, and he's almost gotten 3 crowned, and that's just not a good thing. But his balloon is going to be a good choice. I'm going to have to drop so much stuff. I mean, spear golems and a musketeer just to take down a balloon. That's an elixir loss. He's going to drop his poison spell as well. He probably should have dropped it earlier if he could have. I wasn't watching his elixir, though, so can't quite be sure. Pekka now marching towards his tower. He's out of elixir. He's done. Musketeer could do it by herself, and boom, there it is. Good game. This one was a quick one for sure. Let's get into the next one, though. So keep in mind, guys, I had just won 2, so it looks like I lost 2 in this. So I was 4 for 2. That's a lot of 2s. I just keep saying 2. Call me Marina Joyce. But, so I won 4 battles to get up into Builder's Workshop, so you can see how the growth formula is working there. Normally, I would have been at the same trophy level. Instead, I ended up gaining about 20 cups in that series of battles. So that is kind of what the growth formula has done for pushing. That's why level 1s went from Pekka's Playhouse exclusively to now being able to reach Builder's Workshop, and it looks like just barely in Builder's Workshop. For Pekka's Playhouse, it was about 1,300 was the limit. So it's going to be interesting. Again, though, we're seeing the Giant Skeleton Witch, and this deck is one that I popularized, or I'd like to think I did. I probably did nothing for it, but that was my original level 1 deck, was exclusively a Giant Skeleton Witch push without the Pekka. Now my pushes more consist of the Pekka. The Giant Skeleton's more of a defensive card, but I'm going to use it all right here. He's going to rocket down at my Witch. I think he tried to hit both cards, but he wasn't very good with the timing. We have a Skeleton in. You can see it just in front of the Giant Skeleton, maybe. It's kind of small, but it did a ton of damage as well. We're going to get this tower down super low, and now I'm going to try to slip in some Spear Golems, see if I can get him while he's not having any elixir, and take down that tower. I do just barely. My Spear Golems are so weak, though. Level 1 Spear Golems are just so bad, honestly. But my Musketeer, I've laid her down because she can take down Spear Golems in a one shot, and she'll get onto the tower, do 200 hit points worth of damage. And now we're ready to set up another push. Our Witch is going to be able to counter the other Witch pretty easily. I'm going to drop a Baby Dragon to keep the other Witch distracted, trying to keep that splash damage under control. And now it looks pretty good for us. I mean, this Prince is the only thing. I'm going to drop the Skeleton Army a little bit early there. Obviously, that Witch could have taken it down pretty easily, but this time we did get lucky, and she's not going to do very much. Witch continue on to the opposite side tower. We're about to enter double elixir time, and it's going to be awesome for us. But unfortunately, that Baby Dragon is going to do all right. So now Pekka down to distract all the units. I'm going to drop arrows on the minion horde, and then I think Spear Golems would make the most sense. Spear Golems or Musketeer, or I guess Witch. I was very patient on this. So we're going to take down the minion horde very easily. That Baby Dragon is still going to be taken down, and right now he has not touched our towers yet. So I mean, these are some of the battles that are just kind of insane. I'm in a weird spot where I'm either getting dominated, where I just can't do anything, or I'm just dominating the opponents. I mean, we saw that last one where I 3-crowned the dude. That was just insane for me. That happens so rare, but now we're not even going to have this guy touch our towers. This guy's only a level 7, so it's not quite as bad as some of the battles I've played. I think I may have mentioned it this video. If not, it was my previous attempt at recording this, but I did play a level 10, beat him. It wasn't the best battle, though, to show you guys, because he did try to let me win, because he was trying to get onto TV Royale. I think you guys are pretty familiar with that line of thinking. I mean, you've seen it in the lower arenas, but this guy He intentionally let me win, but it was still a super close battle. I didn't record it, though, just because it's not that fun to watch. But now for the last one, guys, and this is my one and only win in Builder's Workshop. I've played about 10 times in it, but I've only won this one battle, and every single other one I think have been against a level 8. And that was my big problem with Pekka's Playhouses. I could beat the 7s, I could beat the 6s, but when it came to trying to get the level 8s, it was just so hard. Now, though, this guy's a level 9, so you'd think, well, if you can't beat level 8s, how are you going to be a level 9? But it's actually probably easier to beat level 9s than 8s, especially because it is in a situation where there is a growth formula. So instead of minus 30 plus 30, it's like minus 20 plus 30. So, like, for a level 9 to be hanging out this low, they have to be pretty bad, so that's lucky for me. I'm going to be able to get through the Musketeer just fine with my Giant Skeleton, and now the Knight and Valk should be taken down with that bomb. And if not, they'll be very, very close. That bomb's going to go off now. The Valk did get propelled towards my Witch, which sucks. And this Musketeer was meant to pick off the Furnace, but that was a poor placement of the Musketeer, so it didn't really work out that well. She was meant to hit across, but I forgot the Furnace needed to be one tile closer to me. So, yeah, he's going to be using a lot of Fire Spirits, though, in this deck. He's got the Fire Spirits and the Furnace. It's not going to work out too well for him there against the my goodness, Skeleton Army, because just he was not very well done. It doesn't need much explaining. But now we've got a Pekka coming his way. Level 9 minions. I mean, it's going to be rough. Going to drop a Witch here. She's going to do splash damage. I mean, the Witch is a beast, and it's probably the one epic card that is doing a considerable amount of splash damage that's worth it. I mean, we have the Baby Dragon too, but it's just not the same. The splash radius is so small. The Witch is just a beast all around. Now, what I did here was I dropped the Baby Dragon in the center to absorb the Fire Spirit damage that would be coming from that Furnace. Now, unfortunately, it didn't do enough. The entire reason to do that, though, was to help try to protect the skeletons because they are really, really required to build up. Didn't work out too well. I only did 2,000 hit points worth of damage almost on that tower, and I'm saying that sarcastically. Like, we did awesome on that first push. Now a Giant Skeleton coming the opposite way. I'm going to arrow at these minions to help potentially let my Spear Golems take them down. It's not quite going to work out that well. He's going to drop that Valk to try to deal with the Skeleton Army, but he didn't even wait for the Giant Bomb to go off, so his Valk is already going to be wounded. My goodness. Fire Spirit's going to go onto the Pekka, and the Musketeer's going to go the wrong way for him. I mean, what is he going to do at this point? I mean, he just laid his one hard counter down to the Pekka, and it's not even going to do anything. Now he's going to drop a Hog Rider, I guess, to try to force things. Not going to work out that well. Obviously, it's going to be taken down by the Pekka pretty easily. And now all it is a matter of forcing things past him. I've got to just slowly build up and just get as strong a push going as I possibly can. He's going to get his Hog Rider in eventually here. Just try to force past again, which is not a good idea. I'm going to drop my Giant Skeleton here. And my Pekka almost takes down the Furnace. Actually, it does with one more hit. And now I'm getting so close to taking down his tower. I mean, you see he just wasted one Furnace. He's almost cycled completely back, though, which would have been insane having 3 Furnaces on the field at the same time. He's going to Fireball down my Witch and Musketeer, but he messes up big time here. He drops minions to try to deal with the Baby Dragon and the Skeleton Army, but I beat him through. He should have dropped his Valk, and he might have actually pulled this one off, but we're going to beat him right there, and it is going to put us in Builder's Workshop. Okay, guys, and yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I mean, Level 1 at Arena 6 is pretty good. I didn't set the record. I think it is at 1806 is the one I know of. So I'm about 100 trophies under that. But this guy does have Legendary. So I think if I can get, once I get that Magical Chest opening in, I certainly could make a Lava Hound Miner Ice Wizard deck. Then I think that would be, I think that would be able to push me up into Arena 7, that alone. I'm considering the Sparky. I'll do a whole video talking about level 1 decks, though. Just because it is so complex, and I do get the question quite a bit. So I think that would help you guys out. So hopefully you liked the video, though. Make sure to like it up if you did, and subscribe for more. And until next time, guys, this has been CupcakeSmasher here, bringing you another video.